what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy the unbelievable season that we got to witness out of Jayden Daniels, dude. And it comes to a close on Saturday, and a vote that was maybe surprisingly close, with Michael Penix Jr. rocketing over Bo Nix, nearly catching Jayden Daniels for that Heisman. But in the end, and we can have an interesting conversation actually about how the voting broke out and how much quarterback wins matter. But in the end, wins didn't matter as much as Jayden Daniels' numbers. And we said it all year long, but he had to become, if he wanted to win this award with a completely inept defense, he had to become something extra normal, stellar, stupendous, a statistical outlier. And boys, you know what's one way to become a statistical outlier? Set a bunch of FBS records. And that's what Jayden Daniels did. The highest ever. A man last year who was accused of being a bad passer last season just set the record for the highest ever college quarterback rating in NCAA history. 208. 208. And if you look at the 131 quarterbacks in the FBS last year who attempted 150 or more passes, Jayden Daniels leads in pass efficiency, that's your quarterback rating, yards per attempt, so again, efficiency and explosivity combined, better than anybody else in the country. EPA added per dropback. All you need to understand about EPA, it's a single number that analytical guys use to just assign like how much positive value you're having, right? And that's all you need to know. Leading the country is great. It means the most effective quarterback in the entire country. And he led the country in completions of 20 yards or more. He scored 50 touchdowns in just 12 games. The only other players that have ever scored 50, Bryce Young, Joe Burrow, Cam Newton, Tim Tebow. Pretty good company. And then just in he's the first player in FBS history to have 12K passing, 3K rushing for a career. Okay, more FBS records. And just, kind of bathing in the statistical opulence that was Jayden Daniels' season. Who could remember the Florida game, boys? I mean, because that's really where this train got cranked up, in my opinion. But that Florida, 606 yards, 372 through the air, 234 on the ground, 5 total touchdowns. And once again, the only player in FBS history with 350 through the air and 200 on the ground in a single game. And Jake, I want to go to you now because I want to talk about what it was like actually being in that room, because watching on Saturday night, I could not help but be amazed at really thinking about what the last couple of years must have been like for Jayden Daniels.
Yeah, and Vegas told us it was going to be Jayden Daniels, and so I was really confident that he was going to win the Heisman. Then I kind of went in the room, and there was some talk about Penix, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, we only really have the voters in our region that tell me they're voting for Jayden Daniels, and then I was like, is Michael Penix about to find a way to win this deal? And I was talking to someone who had won the Heisman Trophy, so they have a vote. He's like, I think all of us are going Penix. I'm like, are you messing with me right now, or is this And so there was a little bit. I'll tell you,
Tim Tebow.
There's a little bit of doubt there, and so going in confident, and then I was like, oh, I'm a little nervous right now for him because now I can tell you. Obviously, I voted for Jayden on my Heisman ballot one, and I was like, are they going to find a way to take this away from him? But so I was glad. As soon as his name was called, I was like, okay, they got it right.
Look. Again. Quarterback wins are not wholly valueless, right? But if you look at who the most unstoppable player in college football was this year, there's just no way to objectively choose anyone other than Jayden Daniels. Yeah. And Penix was awesome. So if the numbers are close, if Penix had maintained his statistical output they did at the beginning of the season and had the wins, then that becomes the deciding factor, okay?
Yeah.
But as nice as those wins are, Penix had a far better team. Put Jayden Daniels on that Washington team, I think he goes undefeated as well. You put that Washington defense in an LSU uniform and coach staff, everything else, I think there's a good chance that they, 11-1, 10-2 for sure. For sure. Like, so no, it's, it just, quarterback wins are good, are a good tiebreaker, but it wasn't close.
No, and you said it. Like, you had to do everything that Jayden did for him to go out there and win the award, because when you look at the 3-loss Heisman winners, the Tim Tebows, the Johnny Manziels, the Lamar Jacksons, like, that's who you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be so much better and polarizing than every other player that, you having 3 losses is not going to be the reason why you don't win the Heisman. So I think they got it right. I went same order that they went in. I went Daniels, Penix, Nix. And number 3 on me, like, on my ballot was incredibly hard. Like, I was sitting there. There was a couple of different names. And no, I was not the person that voted Cody Schrader number 1.
Are we sure?
I got 15 text messages. Are you the guy that voted Schrader number 1 on your ballot? I'm like, no, I didn't. I took a picture. I'll show you. I'll prove you wrong during the break there, T-Bob. But I wish they would make these public. I wish they would say, okay, here's who we have as voters. Here's how they voted. Because if you voted that way, you feel strongly about the way that you voted.
True.
I would like to sit down and I would like to talk to the 20 individuals that gave Marvin Harrison Jr. a first-place vote in the Heisman Trophy race. I would love to have a conversation with them.
I mean, at that point, those are Ohio State fans or...
Yeah, then you shouldn't have a Heisman vote.
Well, but I mean, everybody who has a vote is a fan of someone, though, because generally they come from college football and they played for a team.
Sure.
And so you try to separate yourself from bias, but, And it also could be people thinking like, well, whatever. You can do all sort of mental gymnastics to justify anything. Like again, somebody put Cody Schrader first, and Cody Schrader was awesome. Right? But I'm sure if you talk to that person, they would have some argument for, well, this is why what he meant, blah, 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 blah. Cody Schrader's got a good story, but Jayden Daniels has a good story. Like, deciding to come to LSU, reaching out to Brian Kelly and LSU, coming from the situation that he did where he burst onto the scene, then Arizona State just complete dysfunctional. It had to be bad vibes everywhere. His career stalling out. He's kind of viewed as damaged goods. His teammates, did you see the guy accepting the speech? The humble, genuine, sincere man accepting the speech? Can you imagine, trashing his locker room on the way out? Because remember, that's what his Arizona State teammates did. And I find that especially crazy, again, now that you know his personality. But I thought his speech was grateful, humble, genuine. Had some really funny moments there. Talking about his dad wanting him to play corner. And so, now I'm playing quarterback. I think it's working out. Starting by thinking the O-line is always smart. I think there were some really good lessons about getting outside your comfort zone, kind of challenging yourself to grow and evolve, which obviously he did. And a really impressive job of everybody not crying for the most part, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how him or his parents, if I was in that situation, I would not stand a chance. Not saying much for me, but still, just a fantastic.
I would have been the same way. I'd have been done.
Yeah, I was crying in the Bibbidi Bop Boutique on Saturday morning as my daughters are getting made into princesses. So if you put me in a Heisman room, I would not stand a chance.
Speaking of Jayden's mom, Regina Jackson, shout out. I found out that she is an OTB P1.
Oh, no way, dude. Okay.
Loves the show. I went to introduce myself to her. She goes, oh, T-Bob and Jake, I know y'all.
Oh, hell yeah.
So shout out to Miss
Nice,
Regina.
dude.
Probably not, maybe not this morning. Got a lot of things going on, but we appreciate you tuning in.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.